Hello, and I'm here with Finn. Hello, Finn.
Hello.
Hello, So, Finn, you are a singer-songwriter.
I am a country and western singer-songwriter.
Oh, country and western. I like country and western. Is that Dolly Parton and all that sort of stuff?
It goes all the way back to Dolly Parton and all the way to the modern stuff. So we've got a bit of pop stuff going on these days, and I kind of fit the brief. But I am so far more like, the olden days stuff. Proper outlaw soundish is my thing at the moment. Storytelling and all the rest.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, that's how
Johnny Cash?
I guess you could say Johnny Cash a little bit, yeah. I'm taking inspirations from a few smaller artists, which you may not have heard of. There's a guy, Charlie Crockett, he's about at the moment. He's proper cowboy, suit and tie with all the rhinestones, cowboy hat, proper outlaw sounding.
I'm getting an image now. Is that you on stage, is it? That's what you want to go to.
I hope that one day it will be. Right now, I don't know if I've got it in me to get up on a rhinestone suit.
All the rest of the band will be, what's he wearing? What's he wearing?
I'm going to make him wear it as well, so I ain't going to be the only one up there, I'm sure of that. But yeah.
That's, so let's go back now. It hasn't been a long journey for you, has it?
No, I'm in the very early stages. You've caught me just opening the box now. I've been doing music about 6 months, I'd say. My first single, Tend to Be, came out about 3 months back. And before that, I started teaching myself to play the guitar about a year ago. So I'm very fresh to it. Not by any all means the best singer in the world. Not by any all means the best guitarist in the world. But I'm having so much fun learning the whole thing. I'm learning to write, play guitar, sing, jam with friends and band members, and it's just I love the journey. So awesome so far. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm happy to be here with you guys and hopefully share this with you and come back another day when it's doing a bit better and we can do it all over again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's I want to talk about obviously yourself and your journey. So this is less than a year old, but So what did you do beforehand then?
So before starting music, I've had a bit of a career doing work stuff. I've been salesman. I've been microbiologist.
A microbiologist?
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting job. I used to work in a hospital locally, the Frimley Hospital down the road. I used to work there in a laboratory in the back, doing all sorts of sciencey stuff. That was interesting. Mm-hmm. I've done some sales work. I've done some bakery stuff in Camberley back in the day when I used to work here. But yeah, I've done online fitness coaching, and now music is kind of like a side hobby, which I hope one day can develop into a full-on career.
So this is the hobby at the moment. You're still working during the day
until this starts paying the bills. It's got to be a hobby, I guess. But
people say, "Oh, you want to get a real job?"
I mean, yeah. At the moment, I'll be honest. In my free time, weekends and evenings, I'm probably putting in more time on the music career than my full-time job. I'm dedicated. I'm trying to learn and get the best out of myself, and it doesn't really come without putting in the time. So it kind of feels like a full-time job. And if I have a week off work, I'm spending that full week off having fun with the music. And then when I get my paycheck at the end of the month from my actual job,
that all goes on music.
It doesn't all go on music, but I kind of act like it came from music. So I'm living this like little fake rock star lifestyle, thinking I'm getting paid for being a musician when I'm completely not at all, not yet, but hopefully one day.
So so because you're new to this, you should be able to relate to your first experience when you got there and you stood there with your guitar and you had people in front of you
on the stage,
and they're going, entertain us.
Yeah.
And that moment suddenly hits. We're like, I've got to do this.
Yeah. I love the feeling, but first time, don't get me wrong, I was absolutely bottling it. I was very nervous. It was just a local venue down the road called The Cabin, and it was an open mic session. So it's not like I was booked. I wasn't getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Everyone else was going up and just singing a song, and there was no pressure. If they did a really bad job, everyone claps at the end and they get off. It's an open mic.
Yeah.
However, it was my first time getting a feel for it, so I was treating it kind of like it was my first gig. I went up and introduced myself, which everyone didn't. I went up and said, "Hi, my name's Finn. I'm a singer-songwriter." And everyone was like, "Okay," expecting me to then be amazing.
Yeah.
I decided my first song would be probably at the time the hardest one I knew how to play, which was Don't Think Twice, It's All Right by Bob Dylan, which is obviously picking style quite hard.
Yeah.
And I was racing heart, dry mouth, all of it as soon as I got up there. Looked around and saw about 10 people in the crowd and still bottled it a little bit and went, "Oh, God." Got through the song, just about, and then did a couple more, but yeah, it was safe to say it wasn't my best performance ever.
But that's it. You can move on from that.
Yeah, first time you have to get up there. You get jelly legs, so I sat down, got the guitar out, went for it. And I thought getting in the deep end and doing a technical song to play quite hard would kind of set me up for the next few, which are a bit easier. So by the time I got to my third or fourth song, which was my own stuff, I was comfortable, I was settled in, I was having a good time. The crowd were loving it. I was getting some big applauses at the end. People were tuning in and stuff. And it was actually that same day that my song was being played on the radio for the first time on, I think it was Country Radio UK, which is quite cool.
Oh.
So I was able to tell everyone to tune in. I had about half an hour after that set to quickly run to my car with my friends, all sit down and tune in and listen. So that day for me, my music career was actually really cool. I got to do my first live gig, first radio play, and experience that whole thing. And it just felt so surreal that I'd started this journey and now it felt real. So,
that is, yeah. I mean, when you hear your song, you know, when out there, you're not singing it. You're not actually, you're listening to it on the radio. What's that sound like?
It's a weird feeling, but it never gets old. It never gets old. I've had my song on the UK played around 10 different radio stations that I know of. The first one was Apple Radio. A lady called Nicola Harris, who's the host, presented it. And just a couple of weeks back, I was at the Long Road Country Music Festival, and I got to meet her and say thank you and introduce myself. You just never get used to the feeling of hearing your song played on a radio. My dad has heard it with me a few times, and the first time he heard it, he was blown away. He was tearing up and all. So
did he sort of turn it up? Go, there you go, let's turn it up, turn it up.
Yeah, even today, it's been a couple of months. He'll put it on the radio in the car, and he'll be like, "This is you on Spotify." Like, what? And to him, it's like, because he's obviously come from the olden days, it's not as easy. You need a record label to do all of that stuff. Nowadays, you can pay 10 quid and just upload it everywhere in one hit. But hearing it on a radio out to thousands of people around the world never gets old. And I've heard it on radios over in Missouri in America. I've heard it in, I think it was in Netherlands or something on the radio the other week. And it's just crazy. You never get used to the feeling, honestly. And having people that have heard your song come up to you in person and say, "I've heard your song, I love it." It's like, whoa. I've only had this happen once, but it was crazy. I was at that same festival actually in the crowd, and somebody's there that I know. So I go, "Oh, hello mate, how you doing?" The person he's with turns around, "Oh my God, it's Fin Pearson, I've heard your song." I was like, what the hell, this is crazy. I'm not massive by any means, but that was my first time that I got that feeling, and I was like, this is cool, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. So that means you're semi-famous. People stopping you and going, "Do you have a T-shirt with your name on it?"
No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. That's soon to come. I'm kind of working on a little bit of an image.
Yeah.
Trying to go for it, which is kind of, I'm going to be eventually when I'm up on stage, all white clothes. I've decided on comfy white clothes. So at the moment, I've got this nice big white oversized T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Nice white comfy joggers and stuff, comfy fit, and a black cowboy hat on the top. That's going to be my look. I'm kind of deciding. And down the line, if it works out well, I can get a nice white guitar. You know.
Oh yeah, you're already thinking.
Yeah, you've got to think big. Think all the way down the line.
And of course, I mean, not so much over here. I mean, there is a country and western following over here, but in America, I mean, if you can crash America with and with their country and western, you would be in there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I've spoken to one of my. It's actually quite an interesting story. At this same festival, I got to meet my idol. He's an artist out of Nashville called Gabe.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
No, no, I'm going for the mullet, but it's not even gave me the inspiration. He's an artist called Gabe Lee. He's not massive, so you may never heard of him, but I would recommend checking him out. He's got he's a bit like I think of him kind of like a Bob Dylan kind of sound, but modern. So he's all about storytelling, really amazing guitar picking and all the rest. So I got to meet him at this festival after years of listening to him. I'll be singing his songs in the car. I taught myself to play guitar, learning his songs. And I got to meet him and have about a 15-minute chat with him, which was surreal. And in that chat, I asked him, how did you do it from start to scratch? Like, where did you go? And he gave the best advice is to find the following, like, where is country music big in the UK? And the answer is it's not really yet.
Yeah.
In Nashville, over in Tennessee, obviously that's where it's at. That's the country music hotspot. So that's where to be. So down the line, if things do work out well, and I do need to make that big move.
There'll be a move.
That's where to go, and that's where the following is. So once you're there, you flourish. But in the UK, it's not too big right now. No, it's been called the current biggest and fastest ever to grow music style.
Yeah.
So I reckon in the next year or two, country music is going to go.
And you'll be there on top, riding that wave.
I think I've gotten it at the right time. I've just had, not to show off or nothing, it might become nothing, but I had the ITV casting crew contact me to go on the Voice 2024 auditions. And in the email, they did say, country music is doing so well. We've seen you on TikTok. We want to get you on, and hopefully you can be a part of this wave. So, country music. I
mean, the thing is obviously social media. Yeah, it's another big thing that those stars back then never had.
Yeah.
So you can put yourself out there. And just from doing like a 3-minute recording, and it goes absolutely everywhere.
I mean, yeah, we've seen it very recently. There's been a few artists on YouTube and such. There's a guy called Oliver Anthony Taylor, I think that's his name. I might be wrong, I do apologise. He's just released a song called Rich Men North of Richmond. It went completely nuts. He's just a standard working class guy. He's got his guitar out in his garden, recorded a song, straight to #1 on the Billboard. He's been receiving 8-figure deals. He's turning them all down as well because he's proper about being relatable, which is the best part. But one video can turn your life around like that. And this guy's gone from being I think he was a coal miner to now literally #1 worldwide of all genres artist. So social media has power.
So hopefully. This time next year we'll be clicking. You're in Nashville and we're over here and we're chatting away. You know.
Hopefully, in a couple of years' time.
You got your black cowboy hat on.
All white black cowboy.
All white. Yeah.
Remember that. That's what I'll be. There you go.
With the one rhinestone, which will be around your neck.
One rhinestone. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a lucky crystal. Actually, I tuck it into these feathers that stick out the side of my hat. So that's my little thing. Lucky crystal and feathers as well.
Just don't panic if you can't find it.
I actually did lose it once. I was on a night out with a couple of friends. Yeah, and I used to wear it on a chain around my neck. And it snapped off and fell on the floor, and I was freaking out. You know, you've had a few drinks and everything's a bit of a blur, and I'm like, I'm not finding it. Some random person picks it up and hands it to me. I was like, no way.
Wow.
So it's with me forever.
It's with you forever.
Yeah, but now I'm too scared to wear it on a chain, because if it snaps, it's gone. So I tuck it in some feathers in my hat, which I only wear rarely. You can't be going up and down UK wearing a cowboy hat without getting funny looks anymore.
Well, you never know.
Not yet anyway, not yet.
Thank you very much, Finn. It's great talking to you.
Thank you guys for having
we
me.
look forward to hearing the single. We're going to be doing some recording with you, so we can hear it, and we'll be putting it out there with everyone else.
I look forward to that session. It's going to be great.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll watch the sunrise every day. Watch the days roll by like tumbleweed on Arizona plains. I'll waste away in neon bars, drinking doubles, and now I'm single, writing songs and counting scars. Lord, I ain't seen her in some time. I'm still haunted by the thought of how I took away her smile. Are we getting further from the last night I spent in her arms, or getting closer to the next time that I'll wind up by her side? And we'll dance all night underneath the moon and stars, the way we used to drift along like the rhythm in that song I never thought the day I'd finally see. You took your time to realize you shouldn't be losing your mind over people who don't mind watching you leave. Well, I wish I could have been the one, but perfect ain't how I tend to be. The rain's coming down now, huh?
Supergirl here, and I am a super fan of SMJ Media Group. They provide support for local businesses, charities and events, and of course create fun content for all of you. If you enjoy our content and would like to help support us, please go to buymeacoffee.com/SMJ Media Group and buy us a coffee.